Hey guys, Triptych here, having another replay for you. Today we are practicing and testing 3.9 alpha of Triptych's mod, which is not going to affect anybody in this game except for our Dominion player, Drazon here. The players have gone alliances and randomed their races, so we have ended up with Shadow, Warp Core, and Star Master Prodigy on the top, and they are Mason, Risner, and Mason Federation. And then on the bottom we have Drazon, who took Dominion, and Martok and Nessie. So Drazon being Pure Tech, Martok being Risner Feds, and Nessie being Risner Feds. So, but I want to talk a bit about the new economy balance, even though only the Dominion have it so far. Well, only the Borg and the Dominion have it so far. In the new Triptychs mods version, starting with 3.9, so like 3.8a is the last one of the old style, and 3.9 forward are testing versions for me for the new version 4 balance, where early game ships require more dilithium and late game ships require more tritanium. An example of this would be the Borg Assimilator. In 3.27 balance, it costs a lot of tritanium because it's got a high system value and it has the assimilation ability, and these are all associated with high tritanium cost. But in Triptychs mod, it is an early game ship, so it has a high dilithium cost. Like, even though it's an assimilator, or like no matter what type of ship you have. I mean, support ships will still cost more tritanium, but an early game support ship will cost less tritanium than a late game. Like right now in the balance I have planned, the Bortus is the ship in the game that has like the highest tritanium cost relative to dilithium. But even like sovereigns and, well, okay, currently implemented cubes and diamonds and like V13 battleships of the Dominion, like the highest tech stuff costs the same amount of dilithium as tritanium relative to mining speed, which means like 2/3 as much tritanium as dilithium. But what that does mean is that also tech stations, like the tech lab costs 600, whereas previously it cost 600, 300. So like they cost a lot more tritanium. So you can, if you focus on like low tech ships, then you will naturally have extra tritanium, which you can use to tech up or to build supply station or support ships, or to get like ship upgrades like weapons and shields. So you could get a fleet of low-tech ships and upgrade all your weapons and shields more easily. Or you could go for, you know, medium tech ships, which will you'll still have some extra tritanium to slowly tech up, but a little bit less. And then when you get to the later game ships, they cost quite a lot of tritanium. And here we see Nessie going with a sneaky platform here. The map is Banana Split, and it's not one of the smallest one. It's not Plasma Conduit, but it is a relatively small one, and he is platform rushing here along with Martok. Wow. So Martok and Nessie doing a dual rush. Now that's a pulse platform, which means if he makes this a phaser platform, it will be able to shoot that platform, and the pulse platform won't be able to range it back. But you know, it might be enough to shut down this mining here. Oh boy. And this is something people have been discovering. Like, I might need to tweak the balance of early platforms. Oh, that's why it's a pulse platform, because phaser platforms require an Antares yard, and he hasn't even bought one yet, so he could only build a pulse platform. And I might make it so that you can't upgrade any platforms without like Antares yard and engineering to make this rush a little bit harder in the future. Like I said, Federation are the next race. So in 3.9c, the Federation will get their economy redo. Okay, I could talk all day about the new balance and the way things are going, but since we have a 5-Fed match and Federation have not been changed in the new version yet, it's the people are relatively familiar with what they do. So Shadow has gotten chassis level 1, an Antares yard, phaser platform, 2 dilithium moons, and he has not yet gone for his expansion try, which is fair. But, you know, you need more dilithium than try in other versions. Next to him, Warp Core has also gotten chassis level 1. He's going for Monsoons, and I think he was Mason, so it makes, or no, he is Risner, so the Monsoon won't get too big of a bonus, but it defends against Sabers, for example. So no freighters have died here yet, but they are having to retreat from the moon. And Star Master Prodigy he has his engineering. He's also getting science, so he's probably going for warpins. And he does not have an What? Oh no, okay, this is his Antares yard. Okay, so he's cycling and he will finish a platform. And 2 bugs out from Drazon, who's building a couple bugs. Another thing, this version of Triptych Mod, I did nerf the A20s a bit, the bugs. There was a version where they had 17 defense, and I brought them back down to 15 defense, which is equivalent to a Mason saber. Well, it's a Rhyzner saber, but... so like that actually really hurts them, because that 17 defense was really important, but they still serve as a decent tank in the early game. this tanking for the other ships. They got a lot of damage on that platform while it was upgrading, which is going to put the top team at a big disadvantage. But as I was saying, the S2 is a fantastic ship. The major limiting factor of it, oh boy, bringing in the 28 defense constructor to tank the turret. So they're really putting the screws on this team here. The S2 has always been a fantastic ship. It's just in 3.27, it was so limited by the fact that you had to get the prototype, and because other people had such good starting resources, they could generally get to bigger ships. And then the S2s either kill everything or they die very fast. They very much depend on their firepower. This constructor might be in danger, although the top team don't have a lot of ships. Maybe this Monsoon needs to focus on them. Yeah, it does. They might get a kill on this constructor. It's turning to go. And like they can bring another ship closer to tank the turret, but I think it's gonna die unless we lose weapons on this platform. Oh, I was wrong. It actually is gonna run successfully. And now with this platform going away, the bottom team have quite an advantage. Starfleet Command is going to start in just a second for Star Master Prodigy, but if they lose this forward, well, they don't lose too much. Honestly, the Antares yard really hurts. And the fact that the bottom team will now have this moon pair is pretty rough. I'm sorry, I distracted myself. The S2 was very rough when you had to get a prototype for it. But now in Triptych's mod, you only need 1 level of upgrade on the yard to build it. So the S2 combos with the bugs really, really well. They're so nice because the S2s, even though they do have a bit of torpedo damage, they have 60% beam damage, so it only makes a small difference. For the most part, they still have beam weapons, and so they still fight small stuff pretty effectively. On the bottom right, Nessie has been dumping all of his resources into platforms over here. I think probably about to upgrade this one. And he's actually starting to get a little bit of excess here, so he can go for a yard or something over here as well. Martok actually able to afford a Starfleet Command because he has expanded so effectively. Is that his expansion line? Oh, that's kind of a random... Oh no, that is his tri-expansion. So Martok being able to get his mining. Oh, I didn't realize before. This actually... Okay, no, this moon pair isn't it doesn't belong to anybody naturally. Ooh, Shadow. Oh, getting disabled. He needs someone to tractor it, unless it drifts into the queue. It drifts into the queue, nice. So he will get that repair. Sorry, Martok has such good mining though. He's able to get his Starfleet Command behind this, which is going to be instant reinforcements, and Nessie getting Starfleet Command. Drazon has some S2s. And I think he is also going to start doing very well in economy. Got some turrets. He's probably... Okay, yeah, I was going to say, he's ready for another yard. Oh, I didn't see what died, but that looks like... a Monsoon? No, I think that's the Saber that just died. The fighting is going to get very brutal now. These guys have to be so careful about their micro. Fortunately, the Monsoons take half damage from long range, so they tank the phaser platforms very well. But man, you still got to be careful. You got to be so careful. Another engine hit, but I think it'll drift into the yard. Oh, going for it. It's turning. I think it just died. Yep. Okay, so, but the top team have gotten turrets now. So it's still dangerous for the bottom team. I think the bottom team are a little bit more commanding lead here, but there you see Starfleet Command. So we're about to see we're about to see a quintuple warp-in pretty soon here. And I guess Shadow has Intrepids here, which interestingly, the Mason. Oh no! It was set to. Oh, that's rough. So the Mason Intrepid has very nice stats with the 24 defense, and it beats the Monsoons, but it doesn't have that resistance to platforms. So it has to be way more careful. And oh, there's an Arati Yard. I think this yard, when it finishes, will be in range of these phaser platforms, so that's going to be tricky. So much shooting, and we have a Canaveral out from that's Warp Core. Deals extra damage to short range, and Intriptix mod has good combat stats. It also has an ability that lets it go invulnerable for a second, and it also has he just finished researching sensor blackout, which will help. However, the Monsoons take reduced damage from long range, so they're going to tank it. Oh, the Canaveral! I wonder if he knows you can pop that special and it will become invulnerable for a couple seconds. Okay, he did the sensor blackout instead, so the enemies are suffering a rate of fire penalty now. But that was Drazon, right? I'm sorry, yeah, that was Drazon coming in very suddenly with that extra firepower and doing quite a number. Oh, pulse platform. We wanted that phaser platform there, I think. Although the pulses will do a bunch of damage to Monsoon, so maybe the mixture is good. But as I was saying, those ships coming in from Drazon turned the battle a bit, and I wonder if Drazon will build a tech lab. So the S2 escort cruiser has an ability in Triptix mod that I've never seen people use, but this would be the time for it. The EM blast is it reduces enemy turret damage by half, and it has a big enough range that it would hit all three of these turrets if it uses it. So in a situation like this where we're in the middle of a turret rush with everybody, there's the warpins. So the top team have all three warpins and the bottom team have two. Actually, no, the bottom team only have one, but I think another one's been called. So, yep, the bottom team are about to get theirs. So everybody has warpins now. Everybody has command. So all of these Fed ships are going to start getting the 20% rate of fire bonus for command. And stuff is just going to die like crazy. Now, a lot of people got ambassadors. Well, let's see, 2 ambassadors. A little bit rough. Nessie getting the Rhode Island. Although actually that'll have fleet supply, but I think he only has Monsoons. I don't know if he has stuff that fleet supply will affect. It is still a command ship, so it still gives a bonus. So now everybody has command bonuses, and the ambassadors are nice because they tank long range, and they have a defensive special, so they can tank turrets. It's going to be really hard for me to track this. This is a turret belonging to the top team. They did not stop building platforms. They're just building them all over the place. And stuff is definitely dying. I think it's mostly Sabres and Monsoons are dying now. A couple are getting back into repair yards. That Excelsior is going to get into repair yard. And Excelsior 2's coming out from, who even is that? That's Warp Core. Okay, so what do we got? I'm curious if we see any Canaverals. Now, I'm going to change the sensor blackout in the future because, as we've discovered, the sensor blackout does not affect enemies with command. So, if you did have a Canaveral with sensor blackout, it would not affect these enemy ships because they have command. I'm curious if anybody has gotten any research, though, for those ships. I didn't. Okay, Shadow's gotten the Intrepid special. I really think the Monsoon special would be good here. I saw someone get Warp Car got weapons upgrade. What are people doing? Okay, Shadow has good income. In fact, Shadow's going for an Arati Yard. Drazon is just double yarding. And, okay, he's starting to spend resources and other stuff. So, in Triptix mod, in the new economy, you do get full mining speed from 2 miners on a regular mining station and 2 supply miners from a moon. Even though it slows down your regular mining a little bit, it's still worth it. You can also do 4 supply miners around the moon, but this is a very forward place. I guess he's really counting on his team winning this fight. I haven't seen if anything super big has died. I think everybody still has their center ships. But I don't see the Rhode Island. Oh shoot. Nessie might have lost his Rhode Island refit, which would hurt. There's an ambassador and a galaxy and another ambassador on top team. S2s. Now the S2s also deal bonus damage to long range, which affects like the Excelsior ones they got warped in, and also the turrets or the phaser platforms. Ooh, he's going for the snipe. I think he's gonna get it, although it might be very expensive. Okay, yeah. He's like, let's not lose 3 ships in exchange for that constructor. Oh, the Galaxy! Shadow's Galaxy overextends a bit and is gonna die. So many ships repairing. And honestly, the fact that Federation repair yards enter from the top is giving the bottom team an advantage here. Because the top team, their ships have to fly behind the back, and then when they're done, they pop out. So just this lineup does advantage the bottom team, but they're at 4 phaser platforms, 5 platforms total, where the top team only has 2 phaser platforms, 3 total. And oh, the Excelsior too. The moment it pops out of the repair yard, it's already under fire, and it dies, and that was an expensive ship. Now, up here, Warp Core has gone for chassis level 3 and is getting phalanx. That area damage will be effective. I don't know if it'll be... I don't know how good it'll be. The top team, as you can see, are definitely losing on ships. But they are about to get another warp in well, okay, in a minute. So, oh, and actually, Prodigy has not kept up all of the ship production here, and this I think is going to get cancelled and combined with this constructor. So, the bottom team are outmassing them for sure. And I think, I'm wondering if Drazon is handing off supply, or if he's going to go for another construction yard or something soon. Oh, he is getting raided a bit. Starmaster Prodigy sees some free kills here. Oh, okay, he's going... That's a weird place for your supply mining. Like, you can put supply mining on these. It does slow them down more than it does in regular, which he's probably noticed. But, like, supply mining does take longer in the new version, but it's not that much longer. It takes up, like, a quarter of the mining time of the moon if you have 1 regular. Oh, decommissioning. Okay. Yeah, the top team are giving up on this. I think. So, yeah, I would say Warp Core needs to get. Okay, yeah, he is getting Miranda's, and he's getting a new yard. So they're going to suffer a great drop in production capacity for a second. Starmaster Prodigy is not going to have any yards to build ships when these go down. But he has plenty of resources, and he is causing damage to Drazon ships, which are getting cut out a little bit. These Monsoons, like I say, Monsoons generally beat S2s just because the penalty for tactical weapons arrays is a bit higher. They take extra damage from short range, and the Monsoons deal reduced damage to short range, but not that much. Although he's overextended, he's going to lose that sensor nebula. And the S2's Drazon is kind of punching below his weight at the moment. Like, yes, he is getting a lot of these S2s, but he's also been expanding his mining, and he just spent money. I saw that. Okay, he's getting a 3rd yard. So, like, Drazon has been one of the least rated. Like, he hasn't been rated at all. And honestly, well, this whole fight, the bottom team have been pretty safe. Yeah, now we see E2s and triple yard Akuras coming out. Did you get the special? The Akira special is stronger in Triptychs mod. Instead of just being... Oh, I haven't updated the tooltip. I'm sorry. Oh, no, yes I have. Yeah, instead of being a % regeneration on shields, it's just 20 shields per second. Which is not enough to, like, tank any meaningful fight. Like, if you have 5 ships on an Akira or more, it's still going to die. But in very small fights, it's enough for the Akira to just straight out tank whatever shooting, and it has a very long duration. So now we are advancing into the later game. Everybody's Starfleet commands have come off cooldown, and it's a race for people to notice that they're off cooldown. I think everybody's warping stuff in. Remember, in Triptychs mod, you only get to keep a full warp in for each chassis level you have. So if your first guys didn't die, you need to get chassis level 2 before you can sustain a second warp-in set. But everybody has gone up to their chassis 2 and chassis 3 stuff with the money they've been earning. Yep, there's the other warp-ins. So yeah, I'm curious what Drazon's gonna do. If he, I mean, the S2s are going fine for him. Didn't even need their special. And I might even make the special stronger. I'm not sure. I want every race to have an anti-turtle count. Ooh, ha! Nessie performed an offensive warp-in, and Starmaster Prodigy was right there. Although, oh, he was a bit too slow on chasing though, so now Starmaster Prodigy has to pull back. And his repair yard's all the way back here. But he has upgraded his outpost. So he'll be able to hold off, but he might lose his dilithium mining here, which would be really bad. I don't know if Nessie wants to push there. Oh, here's a forward push though, straight into the Sovereign production. Oh no! And this one hurts. The Star Yard's back here. The Arati Yard is caught out, although there are 2 fleets against 1. Martok has a very, very tanky fleet here. These are Risners, so they don't have the 32 offense, but ooh, too bad that research takes too long. Otherwise, the Sovereign could pop out and just like immediately engine disable them all. Looks like he did get allied repair, which is nice. But oh, this is going to be tricky. So Martok's going to be in trouble. He can hold out for a little while, but he is getting double teamed until the bottom team come and help. And now the S2s. Oh, the S2s might be approaching the end of their effectiveness here. Although there's a lot of them, and he can. Well, no, there's a platform. What has Shadow been doing? Does Shadow have more chassis level? What does Shadow have? Okay, Shadow has Intrepids and stuff. And now the S2s are going to come in, and they can do decent damage, but I think the S2s are going to die pretty fast to this fleet. Especially with Prodigy coming in as well, although Ness is coming in. So we've got another 6-player match going on, and obviously the Dominion bugs and S2s are going to die first. But they're also very fast, so you see he can pull the fleet. Oh, this leaves the top team in a really rough spot when Drazon starts pulling south, because do you chase the S2s or do you fight against these super crazy tanky Akuras that are still regenerating shields? And he goes for it, but I don't know if you can get that kill. Oh, maybe you can. Yeah, they have a lot of critical mass. Okay, there's a lot of Intrepids here, and actually the Intrepids have their specials, so they could pound on something all at once. The Intrepids, once the Monsoons are dying out, the Intrepids are going to be the things tanking, which is going to be a bit nice because all these Akuras deal reduced damage to the Intrepids. And those are Mason Intrepids. But it's so hard to say. I think the bottom team have more stuff here. Although, oh, there's a Sovereign. And once that special finishes in another 30 seconds, he'll be able to engine disable stuff, which will make it so the top team can run and like stretch out the bottom team a bit. Oh, the bottom team are still winning a bit, but I don't know. I mean, the other thing is the bottom team are mining more behind all of this. And yeah, there is a 3rd mining station, so I wonder, and Drazon is spending it all. Is he getting something else? Oh, the other thing is, in the new Triptychs mod balance, Dominion do not spend supply for research like they used to. They just don't have to. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I looked away and the Sovereign died. And it looks like that will be game. Yeah, there was just the creep of turrets and the gradual advancement across the map. I don't think they were going to be able to come back from that. But that's what Federation games are like, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is Triptych signing off.